Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I am your host, Henry Wakefield. Be joined here in just a second with Roger. You know, we are running around like crazy, getting things ready. Got a couple podcasts to film today after this, getting a lot of things set up and ready to go. Happy Friday Eve to everybody. It's a wonderful Tequila Thursday, and I hope you're having a good day so far. And looky here, got this fun guy to hang out with.
How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you hadn't been, man, we're glad you're here. We get to do this every day, and what we do is we come in here and we talk about all different trades and all different things about the trades. And we do this because we were taught if you will get up every day and study your niche, your industry, your profession for 30 minutes to an hour, you can move up to be in the top 5% of your industry because nobody else does that. So we decided, look, we'll jump in here. We'll do the research. We'll pull up the news. We'll find cool things to talk about. And it works pretty good. So we do it every day, Monday through Friday, except for major holidays.
That's it.
And Randy likes that because now we get weekends off.
Yes.
Which we didn't have for about a year and a half.
For a long while. It's good to have a weekend, though, occasionally, especially with all the travel and stuff that we end up doing. You know, it's nice not to have to dedicate Saturday.
Although I have had people ask me to start doing that again.
I bet.
I bet. We used to have fun. We used to hang out and cook and drink a little bit.
Maybe sip a little
Sipping
bit.
Saturdays. Absolutely. But guys, as you see, I don't do it alone. I got Square here to help me.
That's it, everybody. I am Henry Wakefield, 20-year pipe fitter by trade. Loved my trade. Loved everything I got to do. Love to give back to the trades. And that's why I run LeakPro now. And we would like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where we build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And when I say the leak detection system, guys, I always suggest checking out the complete kit. Comes with both pieces of equipment that we build. Comes with that probe, T-handle style with stainless steel rod, super durable for probing in and out of the ground. This is what we prefer for that meter to the home service, irrigation lines, things like that. Anything just underground. If there's concrete above that line, though, you really want that sidekick that comes in that complete kit. It's our pistol grip style with an aluminum rod, and it eliminates that layer of concrete that you're listening through to do leak detection. So check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. It definitely can help you bring leak detection in-house for all you plumbers out there.
And it works.
It works amazing.
We're also sponsored by Residential Service Professionals. If you've been caught up in a best practice group that you feel handcuffed to, you can't get out, you have to do everything their way, you're wearing their logos, you're wearing their colors, you're doing every single thing the way they tell you to do, just like every other company in town. But you want to, like, you built your company because that's what you wanted to build. You wanted to do things different. With the right business operating system, you can learn the systems and processes to help you make money, and you don't have to change everything you do to be just like everybody else. If you want to learn more about it, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com. And then last but not least, we are sponsored by me. What I do is I learned YouTube 7 years ago, and I learned how to grow, scale, and sell a company. And a lot of it was because of the marketing that we were doing with YouTube. So if you think YouTube's not for you, I hate to tell you, you're probably wrong. YouTube will be the greatest thing you can do for your business in the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be more important than your website. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, go to justmetroger.com. Now, we're going to start off talking about the national news. Start with a major development in the United States energy sector that directly ties into construction. LNG, the liquid natural gas builders, are now embracing modular construction to combat rising costs. Instead of building everything stick by stick on a site, they're fabricating massive plant sections off-site and rolling them in. Why does this matter to the trades? Well, number one, modular cuts on-site labor hours drastically, and that's a big deal in a market where skilled labor is stretched thin. And guys, you know where it's stretched thin at? All across the freaking country. We need more people in the trades. And here's the thing. When you're working in a facility, it's also safer. Prefab work is done in controlled environments instead of out in extreme weather or live industrial zones. Now, it's not always the safest. I'm supposed to have a podcast guest in here at 11, and he just said there was an accident in the shop. I'm caught up with safety. I can't get away. I said, hey, I understand.
Yep.
So I called my second podcast guest today and said, you can move up a little bit. So, you do what you got to do.
That's it. And yeah, like things happen. A shop can be dangerous.
They can't. No, they are dangerous.
They are dangerous.
Yeah.
There's so many things moving. Like in the shop, there's overhead cranes. There's lots of things going. So many moving parts and pieces. Things happen even there. It's a whole lot easier to control the hazards that are there, though, than out on a job site. And that's the major.
And it is. It does make it safer. It speeds projects up.
Oh, so much.
You can have site prep happening in one place while modules are being built somewhere else. Then bring them together like Lego blocks.
Yeah.
Now, the cool thing about this is I got to see this done in Vegas. Speaking of, we got to talk about Vegas when we get off here. We've got an invitation. More work. But that parallel path saves months off the schedule. What I got to see them do is build little restaurants in Vegas, bolt them together. They unbolt them, throw them on a trailer, and ship them anywhere in the country.
Yep.
Put them together and hook them up.
Yeah.
Now, the ripple effect's big. We're not just talking about LNG plants. This trend will influence civil infrastructure, hospitals, data centers, and even housing. The message is clear. Modular is not a fad, okay? This prefab work that they're doing in plants, building these little mods and shipping them out, guys, it's going to go on. It's going to keep getting bigger. And this is a survival tactic. In today's cost and labor environment, this is a way to do it faster, cheaper, safer. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do.
That's it. Those three things make a smooth company profitable nowadays, and that's the major part.
I used to tell people, people always ask me, like, how did you make such good money? Okay. And when I was a superintendent, I made it my goal every single time I had a job, on time, under budget, and safe.
That's it.
And I was good at it. You preach it, you talk about it, you watch every dollar, you watch how your money's spent. Talking about how your money's spent, let's roll right into the bottom line. Randy, let's talk about numbers.
Yes. And, one of the simplest ways for contractors to actually protect margins is using digital tools and dashboards
Amen.
to track labor and materials in real time. And I've seen some of those older superintendents that don't like a lot of the digital things. And it's like, dude, embrace it. But then once they actually see it used and they're like, okay, that will save me a lot of time.
What,
show me how to use
plug
that.
those numbers in right there. That's it.
Yeah, then it calculates it all for me and does all the stuff. Oh, okay. And we've all seen it, okay? Project looks profitable until you realize hours are being burned faster than expected, or material waste is slipping through the cracks. I've seen, over-ordering materials. I've seen them throwing material away at the end of a job because they just completely over-ordered, and it's like, dude, like, please send that to the shop. Send it to my next job. Like, dude, like, there's so much material there. How are you just doing that?
And if you get a return, you don't get a whole dollar on it.
That's it.
Oh, we'll give you 60 cents on the dollar for it.
Yep. That's it.
I had to do that at one of the hospitals I was on. It was a job that I took over from another superintendent. And when I took it over, I'm like, man, we're going to start getting rid of materials. Like, we can't get rid of materials. We're not done with the job yet. It's not. Guys, there's more material here than we need to do this entire job if we started over.
That's it. Yeah.
The lady on yard was full. And we're getting down toward the last 2 or 3 months. It's like, guys, we don't need all this.
That's it. But, like, by that point, like, the guy, why was he throwing it away? He had to have it off the site that day. And guess what? There was no time to make returns. It's too late.
Mm-hmm.
Dashboards change that, guys. Use these new softwares and stuff. They link timesheets, POs, usage logs so that managers can actually see the red flags early. They know what's coming. They know when that Pro press gun's about to hit its last press and going to have to be recalibrated. And guess what? They're
When
already
it stops,
going.
it stops.
Hey, throw another Pro press tool in your truck. Oh, I got one. It's about to go out. It's going to stop on you here really
And they're like,
soon.
how do you know?
I got this software
I'm
that tracks it, and you're at
tracking my numbers.
9,859 presses. So if you do 140 today, it's gonna lock you out.
And if you don't do 140 today, I'm getting somebody else out here that can. But I mean, seriously, but it's a good way to look at it, guys. These tools, if you think about it, these tools can help you do all your job. I sat here thinking about that when I was going through. If you plug your MCAA numbers into this, to where you know every time you order a 3/4 inch 90, it can project your labor for you. Can you imagine setting it up that deep?
Depending on what it is, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you set it up that deep and say, hey, we got a 40-foot random. Okay. 40 feet of pipe. Normally gets cut 3 times. That's this many welds. That's this. That means you just spent this much labor.
I'll give y'all a little quick insight real quick on MCAA and how a 42-footer's figured.
Yeah.
Pipe is figured labor per foot. If you save just that single weld,
That's 42 feet of labor.
42 feet, one piece of pipe, nothing needs to be done with it except that piece needs to be pulled off the truck, taken to where it goes, lifted into place, and then the welds on the ends. But you saved one in the middle, that saves so much labor, guys. But this, using the software and stuff, this is going to help improve client relationships.
Think about that. And look, we're talking about the bottom line. So, I want Randy, he hit on something really good. And I saw this whenever I ordered the airport out. Okay. They didn't even think about 42-foot double randoms because they're like, it's going to be dangerous for us to move them from one end to the other. So I came up with an idea.
You've got a plan. Make a plan.
Man, I came up with a plan that blew everybody. I had to fight my project manager. He says, you've built something that we're going to have to get engineered before we can use it. I said, great. You go work on that. Don't come out here for a week.
I locked down a space out at Texas Instruments. 150-foot space. That's all I needed. And I drug pipe down the whole area that we were expanding. Why? Because it saves that much labor. And we had roller hangers too, so everything rolled so smooth down this. It was great.
So think about this. We probably had, 200 double randoms.
Yep.
Okay. So that's 200 20-inch welds.
Oh.
Twice, because supply and return.
Yep.
200 14-inch welds, supply and return. What kind of labor is it? Do you but guesstimating, one 20-inch weld, one 14-inch weld.
A real good crew, a pipe fitter, a welder, and an apprentice should be able to knock out a 20 and a 14 every day. It's about a 10-hour day, though, probably. Okay. I had guys that could do 224s, but we were the fastest crew on the job, guys, and that's why it's like, a 20 and a 14, you should be able to do that.
So
on a
200 times.
Yep.
Two welds a day.
That's 600 man-hour days.
Yeah.
At 10-hour days is what I said.
Yeah.
6,000 man-hours saved.
Yeah. That's
by ordering smarter.
3 people for a year.
That's it.
That we save labor on.
Yep.
Not just saving labor. You save possibly somebody getting hurt. And I'll tell y'all something cool that I did.
6,000 hours that aren't spent on the job.
You bet.
Like, period.
You bet. This goes straight to the bottom line.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to go anywhere else. It doesn't stop anywhere. But I want you to think about this. The other thing that I did, that little contraption that I said I built, made it where instead of the 6 men that we had planned for about 2 months with mules and oxes and stuff like that to roll these 42-foot double randoms from one end to the other of the airport, because we started staging them down there and then built them back. Then when the expansion loops came out, we were able to drive them around and drop them off where they went to. But what we had figured 6 men, 2 months just to move material, we did with 3 men in a week. And it was like, when you look at a job like that, how do I save money? Remember, I told you a while ago, on time, under budget, and everybody goes home safe.
That's it.
When you look at jobs like that and you start thinking, what can I do different? Guys, it will completely change the way your jobs look when you're done.
You know what's great about those 42 footers? I got some of the best pipe jacks that are made out there. They have rollers. They've got rollers built in. You can adjust
the
all,
rollers. Yeah.
all these super things. Had 5 casters on them so I could roll pipe everywhere. The labor we saved.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, y'all can buy the top of the line. Guess what? And they work amazing. It's so much different. It helps save labor too, so we were able to make some of those good investments.
I love it. Gen X Plumber says, good morning, fellas. Happy Thirsty Thursday.
Happy Thursday, brother.
Plumber in the Trades says, morning, gentlemen. Had no class this morning because my hoisting and rigging course I took at the union was accredited by the school. Dude, if you passed hoisting and rigging, you did good, because when I would go to the ITP, I used to go up to Ypsilanti every year. It's the union instructor training program. That rigging course is the one that I think they say 50 or 60% of the instructors fail out. Because you've got to rig something, you've got to come in, you've got to shift it, you've got to drop it down, you got to turn it, you got to rotate it. You got to do some magic stuff. That's a course. So, brother, if you did that, congratulations.
Shoot, yeah.
Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Squirt. What's up, brothers? Happy Thirsty Thursday. Did you happen to see the contractor bill we passed? Open a whole new avenue for trade workers. I did. We'll see how that works out. I like at the end, in one of the videos, it talks about, it says, as long as they understand plumbing, electrical things that take a license, leave to the licensed people. Why do they do that? Materials are not cheap. I use materials for many jobs. That's how I make the money.
Yes.
Yeah. We've been known to shift them around too.
Yeah.
Plumber in the Trades. That's awesome. Yes, it is. That's fantastic. Okay. Squirt safety.
Man, it's not just about big policies. It's about daily habits. And that is more true than any of you will understand. You have to create good daily habits, okay? One practice that's actually gaining some steam is mobile safety check-ins. I love this. They started coming out with the app whenever I was kind of leaving our safety guys, started to use one, and this is how they checked every job. They had this little check, percentages, everything actually tracked the real data. But instead of filling out the paper forms, relying on memory, what you saw, crews log into an app. At the start of the day, they tick off the hazards, they confirm the conditions. It's fast, it's time-stamped. It's all logged, it tracks it. That's great. Supervisors can see the site safety status in real time across multiple jobs. So your head safety guy at the office can check every job and what's going on for the day.
Never have to leave his office.
Never have to leave his office. Or if he sees something that could be really dangerous, hey, I'm going to this job today because here's what they've got going on out there. It's not just a compliance thing going on, though, guys. 1GC's rollout, incident rates dropped 20% in the first year because small hazards were caught early. Okay, something as simple as check that the ladder is secured or verify that all the PPE is worn for that special task. Did they actually log it? Was it actually corrected before the accidents happen? Take a look at this, study from the history, and teach the workers so that we actually learn. But the kicker is the liability protection. When everything is digitally logged, you've got proof that your company takes safety seriously. Digital logs are one of the best things you can go to nowadays. A lot of things are starting to require that now. That's it.
Doesn't lie. Yeah.
So embrace something, start using it. Because if OSHA or an attorney ever comes calling, those check-ins, they're going to cover your butt, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. It's a small habit too, but guys, this can create a big impact if there's ever anything that happens. And guys, don't forget, safety is actually a culture, and daily mobile check-ins can keep it front of mind to what's really going on every single site. Something we talked about multiple times a day on most of my jobs for sure was safety. And if we approach a new area, it's like, okay, what are we doing? What's different here than where we just left? Let's look at it and address it now.
You know, and I do. I love stuff like that. Yeah, safety is the most important thing we see every day. All right, we're going to roll into new construction because it's not slowing down everywhere. Now, some people say it's slowing down here, it's slowing down there, but especially not on U.S. military bases. Right now, expansions are creating huge opportunities for trades. Bases across the country are building new dormitories, training facilities, hospitals, even energy upgrades like microgrids and HVAC retrofits. We're seeing the HVAC retrofits in military bases, in schools, in old office buildings. Guys, it's time to update this stuff. Me being a lead AP, I see the benefits of it. I see why it's important. I see how much money it can save. I see all the cool stuff that it does. Now, these are federally funded long-term projects, which means stability for contractors who can qualify. Again, make sure your insurance modifier is where it's supposed to be. And guys, you've got to talk about this all year. You can't wait till a big job comes up and says, hey, our insurance modifier is at a 1.3. Let's move some things around and get it down to 1. It doesn't happen like that. Now, here's the catch. High security jobs. Okay, subs need credentials, clearances, and sometimes specialized insurance. I've told y'all before, I was lucky when I was at the airport. Man, I had a badge on my truck. I had my security badge said escort privileges. I could escort anybody onto the airport, drive them out onto the tarmac, bring them into the building. As long as they were with me, I could bring anybody in that I wanted to. But you got to understand, a lot of people can't do stuff like that. A lot of people can't get those security badges. And that creates a barrier to entry. But once you're in, you're in. The good thing about it is once I did A terminal, it was easy for me to slide down and do E terminal.
Yeah.
Companies that establish themselves as reliable based contractors stay booked for a long time, guys. They're not just building one building. They're like, hey, we're building this dormitory, but we're building 10 more like it in the next 2 years. Civil trades are also booming here. New roads, water lines, sewer lines, power distribution. It's all part of the expansion. So if you're looking for work that's less volatile, it's not just going up and down and up and down and up and down. It's continuous. It's a lot better than private sector construction, that's for sure. So keep an eye on military expansion bids. Sometimes they can be complex, but they're steady and they are well funded. The money is there. And if you want to grow, it's a great place to do it.
Yeah. For sure. Man, moving on here into some mindset growth, though. Because one of the best ways to build culture and accountability is to create what we call trade champions, one of your favorites. Mm-hmm. And it works like this, guys. Identify the people that are on your team who are passionate about certain specialties.
I love this.
I love mechanical rooms.
I really do. Yeah.
Everybody that knows me knows I love to go in and build a mechanical room. I prefer it if there's nothing in there whenever I step foot in there. My favorite. Or go in, it's all there, and I'm ripping it all out and rebuilding the whole thing. Good with that, too. But specialties, guys, safety, tools, training, customer service. Then you're going to empower them to own the area inside of your company. Mechanical rooms. Guess what? Put that guy in as many mechanical rooms as we can. Everywhere he goes, throw him in the mechanical room. He's going to do great.
Think about what we do on LeakPro. Every time we bring somebody in for training, we teach them every little detail about it. And they may say, look, I don't want to do the sewers. Yeah, but we're going to show you. I want you to understand what's possible.
Yep.
And you show them and they're like, wow, I had no idea you could do that.
That's it.
But they become specialists when it comes to leaks, and they can have an educated conversation with the customers each and every day.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest questions when we're talking about the sewers like this is, well, how am I really going to use this? Oh, well, here's the actual situation where this gets used a lot and can save you a whole bunch of headache and risk factors. And they're like, oh, wait, that is quick. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. All right, now I get it, but it takes them a second to realize that. But guys, whenever workers see one of their peers leading safety talks or championing the tool management, it hits different than hearing it from the boss. I can remember a lot of times safety talks, the boss would get done and I'm like, okay, boss, you done? Yeah, close your ears. All right, guys, here's the reality of what he just said. Here's what we need to do. Here's what we really have to focus on. The boss couldn't say that because he was the boss on the job. But whenever I laid out the reality, everybody knew, man, He's the lead guy.
Right. This is real.
This is the reality of it. Okay, cool. But it also unleashes the creativity side for other people, because that peer accountability, is super strong, guys. But a tool champion may suggest better ways to track gear. They're in there doing the thing. They lead the pack. They have a great understanding of it.
And they mess with it every day.
They mess with it every day. But a training champion may develop some mini drills for apprentices. It's one of the smartest things they can do. I used to give mine a lot of quick layout drills. Hey, there's a column. Here's what I need. Boom, go. Let's see how quick you can do it. And I would always try to do it where there was something to try to trick them a little bit, something out of the norm, so that they had to go, oh, wait, this is different. Yeah, it is. How are you going to attempt to address it without asking me something first and then ask me the question? But when people are really trusted with that responsibility, they rise to the occasion. That's one thing I loved about our company, was they gave us the authority to make decisions.
You bet.
But there was a contractor that I knew that put 2 younger plumbers in charge of tool inventory. Within 3 months, tool losses dropped 15%. Why? Because they took pride in that system that they actually built. Mindset growth, it's not always just about personal development, okay? Sometimes it's about letting your people grow into leaders right where they stand. You don't have to force them through the other stuff.
And anytime you've got somebody that takes on ownership of something like that, they want to get better at it. So when people ask me about getting in the trades, they're like, look, what trade can I make the most money in? The one you enjoy the most, because you're going to want to get better at it. And you look at me, and I get to sponsor this show because of what I do on YouTube. And YouTube is a thing that I wanted to learn because it was helping my business grow. And I saw the benefits of it. So I literally started looking at how do I learn to do YouTube better? How do I learn to help other companies learn to use YouTube? So I get to sponsor this show. And the neat thing about it is what I started doing 7.5 years ago is now completely changing everything that I do. I mean, if you'd asked me 7.5, 8 years ago when I walked into that conference, where are you going to be in 7.5 years? Man, I'm going to have a great plumbing company. And I knew what I was going to do. I hired Michael Gerber as a coach. I mean, I was doing good stuff. But then I found out about YouTube, and YouTube completely changed my life. If you would like to learn what I learned, I've spent a lot of money learning it. But if you'd like to learn what I learned, you can learn to do YouTube too. It's not hard. And if you want to learn more about it, I made a free webinar to help you out. Go to justmattroger.com, check it out, and then that'll help you learn the things that I did. You don't have to have a lot of followers. You don't have to have a lot of views. You don't have to start out with a lot of equipment. I started out with iPhones, iPads, and laptop computers. No microphones, no cameras, no nothing. Now, this video is also sponsored by Residential Service Professionals. If you need a business operating system that lets you run the company that you wanted to run, but learn the things to do it right, it gives you systems, it gives you processes that you can incorporate and use. It gives you forms to fill out to where you can see what your numbers are. Actually, your KPIs, it'll do those for you. There's so many things built into this business operating system that is fantastic. And the weekly coaching, the accountability, being able to get together and talk to people. If you want to learn things like that and put yourself in a position to grow the business that you started and wanted to grow your way, this business operating system, the coaching, the training, everything with it can help you do that. And if you want to learn more about it, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com and check it out. I think you'll like it.
That's it. And everybody, this show is also brought to you by LeakPro. And guys, here's the thing. Too many plumbers are still outsourcing leak detection calls. And every time they do, they give away revenue and credibility. LeakPro training is about taking control of those calls. Okay, the training that we do here, it's hands-on. No more than 3 people in a class. Complete kit is required. But guys, most plumbers out there, they start booking calls because they know when training is coming. They start booking some calls for that week after. And within a week, most of them recoup that investment. Because leak jobs, they're not small, guys.
Yeah.
They can be very high ticket projects. But there was a Texas plumber that had told me before he stopped losing jobs. Now other plumbers are calling me when they can't find a leak.
Yep.
And that is what taking control looks like, guys. So stop outsourcing these leak detection calls. Come spend a couple days with me here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I offer a 2-day in-person training where I teach you the full process of how we go in and do leak detections at a home. Under the slab, just underground also, we go through it both so that you know what everything sounds like. But then we also teach you how to determine exactly where a sewer system's leaking, all from the double clean out outside. If you want to talk about training, the equipment, anything, give me a call at 1-8888-LEAKPRO. I'd be happy to discuss it with you. Or you can visit the website, leak.pro, check out the equipment, or book me with a Zoom, and I'd be happy to discuss it with you.
And the cool thing is, you can be the expert. LeakPro equips you to own the leak detection in your market. Yep. It's going to put you in a position to where you're doing things other plumbing companies can't do. And like the guy in Texas told him, hey, other plumbing companies are calling me now because I'm good at it. I'm not 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Where somebody called the other day, said their leak detection people are 8 weeks out.
8 weeks.
Guys, like, when can I get into training? I'm not going to tell my customers I got to wait that long.
That's it.
Guys, get ahead of it. You can own it in your area. All right, Randy, this is one you're good at.
Man, guys. All right.
All trades.
All trades here. And one of the biggest friction points on the job sites, it's staging. Okay. Every trade wants their material and tools closest to the action. But that leads to a lot of overlap, a lot of wasted time, and a lot of accidents. There's an easy way to fix this, though, guys. If you will actually align trades on the site staging from day one, everybody knows where their stuff goes and how much room they have. This is all the room you get. You can't go beyond this line, or we just trash it. How about that? Okay, that's
and I've seen that done.
You have to do it because you've got to set an example of somebody so that everybody on the job goes, oh, wait, they ain't kidding about those lines. Do not cross them. And I hate to say that, but guess what? A lot of us are construction workers, and we love to learn the hard way. Quit, okay? Align this from day one. Assign color-coded zones for each trade's laydown area so that everybody knows what their actual spot is. Stagger deliveries, too, so that everybody isn't dropping pallets first thing in the morning when the job opens. Oh, every trade has a truck out there waiting to drop stuff off. That's not good. Stagger things.
You know what, Randy? I used to love it because we were always one of the biggest trades out there. So we always had a SkyTrack in the laydown yard.
Yep.
And we could work with the other trades and say, hey, yeah, we'll let y'all use our stuff. But look, sometimes I may need to stage stuff in your area. If you've got, if you're the one with the SkyTrack, they don't care.
Yep. Yeah.
They don't care because you let them use it when they need it. And they're like, you know what? You're saving us $1,000 a month.
That's right.
Yeah, we're good. We'll give you extra space.
Or hold off or anything. And if something shows up out of order, I know that y'all are going to help me unload that truck real quick and get things handled. And as tradespeople, we do that a lot. There's a lot of times we got to rely on each other because we're all there to get the same job put in, guys. But I've seen some GCs, they'll shave 3 days off of a schedule just by organizing the staging area smartly on the front end.
Yep.
Crews weren't tripping over each other. Material isn't moved a dozen times because it's in everybody else's way.
Right there.
Yeah, I've had so many people block my stuff where I can't get to it with a SkyTrack now. Now it's like, okay, I got to move their stuff so that I can get to my stuff because this is what I actually need. Well, I want to head to the dumpster. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and I've seen that done too. It's like, you know what? I've had to move this pallet 3 times. I'm not moving it again. Guess where I'm going to move it to?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I flat out called them and said, hey, remember that pallet I told you 3 times that you had to move and you've never done? I've always had to move it. I'm moving it again, but you ain't never going to get it back.
We flew one to a roof one time.
That's a good place to hide them, too, because they won't go up there looking.
Right there, and then, oh, my God, it's right there. Yep. Have fun. No, you can't use my SkyTrack.
Yeah, you can't use the crane either.
Sorry.
Your crane's tied up, and it's tied up by me.
That's it.
All right, laws and licenses. Now, there's a new push in multiple states. HVAC responders must now have state-accredited training. A state license. Gee.
Really?
They ought to do that with plumbing and electrical too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What does that mean? If your technician is responding to emergencies, heat pumps, refrigerant leaks, system failures, they need proof of accredited continuing education. Yep. Now, we heard something here a while back here in Texas that the electricians were going to have to go in and take their test again for code upgrades. I love the idea. I tell you what, you want to see plumbers start paying more attention in continuing education classes? Tell them they're going to have to go in and re-up their license. They're going to be like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I hadn't studied plumbing in 20 years.
Yeah.
This standardizes knowledge across the field, and it ensures refrigerant handling is safe. Make sure that the technicians know how updated codes and that liability is reduced for contractors. Yeah. It also forces companies to budget differently. Training isn't a one-time thing. It's all year. You have to stay in compliance. And while some may see it as a burden, and trust me, the technicians will, it's also an opportunity. Contractors who stay ahead of accreditation can market themselves as certified, trusted responders, while competitors scramble to catch up. In the long run, it raises the professionalism of the trade. And look, I tell people this all the time because most professional licensed tradesmen, and I'm going to say in Texas, but I've talked to them all around the country. Mm-hmm. Most plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs, once they get their license, they never learn anything again unless it's continuing education. That's it.
Yep.
They don't go to classes. They don't go to training. We talked about the trade shows we go to, and literally the first day, it's like there's probably 10 different rooms that have training in them for 45 or 90 minutes all day long. Man. And it's everything from marketing to safety to drain cleaning to whatever it is.
Field stuff, business stuff, marketing stuff, like all aspects
what
of
do you
the
need
trade.
to learn?
What do you want to learn while you're here? What is it that you don't know anything about? Come sit in a class. And luckily, most people that are tuning into this show
do.
Y'all are attempting to learn something. Learn a little more, learn something new. So you're probably not in that list of people that are too pissed off about continuing education. Trust me, I don't want to go spend 8 hours in a class learning a full day every single year. But guess what? If that's what most of the world needs to actually learn and keep current with what's going on, guess what? Make me go sit in it too. Yeah. That's fine. I'll keep current. I'm happy with it.
I love it. Plumber in the Trades is Matt McDonough. Thank you, sir. Happy to be learning lots. Man, talking about an education right there. Elmer Suarez says, shout out to Mega Pros Plumbing from Duncanville, Texas.
Bill.
Matt says, speaking of safety, how safe do we think an electric scaffolding is? I like the way it works. Would prefer to have a scissor lift. What's your guys' thoughts?
Ooh, I guess I'm going to have to check that out. I hadn't seen that one yet.
I'd prefer to have the scissor lift.
But that's what I was thinking. Like when he said electric scaffold, I'm going, okay, scissor lift, hold on. And then the rest of the comment. I might look into that, Matt.
Matt says, Plumber in the Trades, glad you're getting the opportunity to get that knowledge. Dude, knowledge is what it's all about.
That's it.
No, we're not. I looked at it.
It was full.
Yeah, it was booked. We couldn't get in. We're over at Ahern, which I love staying there. Matt says, go LeakPro and the Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education.
Yeah,
gotta love it. We will be planning on dinner about probably 6-ish.
Yeah, it depends on what time we wrap
Friday
up that
evening.
day.
Yeah, we'll text you. And
I
let
forget
you know
what time we leave there. Yeah.
Helping Hands Handyman Services. I made it, fellas. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Glad to see you.
Matt says, site staging is a very important part of construction. I've seen so many people get mad and hurt. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have to operate like a well-oiled machine. And if you're the one with the keys to the SkyTrack, you get to control the oil flow. Matt says you have to stay on top of code to be best. Ha. I love when I did code update classes. Look, as a plumber, I love going to continuing ed because I pay attention. I used to teach it. So I see the importance of it. It's a big deal.
I love to see the things that they're actually changing, what they're actually studying and researching and trying to make better. That's what it really shows you. It lets you know what they're actually focusing on.
And guys, everybody in here, if you enjoy the continuing education, put it in here. If you don't have continuing education in your niche, your industry, your trade, just say, hey, yeah, we don't have it. But man, I'd love to hear where you're from. And if you want to shout out your company, I'm fine with that. But where you're from and what kind of continuing education you have. Okay, so for business training, dispatch is the nerve center of a service company. And now AI-powered routing tools are giving dispatchers superpowers. And I know all about this because we're looking at this for our business operating system.
Yeah, good.
So these systems look at job location, tech skill sets. Now, that's the thing you got to focus on. What can that technician do? Randy talked earlier about find your champion. If you've got a slab leak, don't send the guys like, well, man, I got the equipment on my truck, but I really don't know how to use it. Don't send him. It also looks at traffic conditions, even expected job durations. Then, when they're done right, they dynamically build next day routes that cut windshield time down and improve customer satisfaction. Sometimes you can juggle customers around and say, hey, look, instead of him going from here to here to here, like we've got him now, maybe he can go to here and then here, and it saves him an extra hour that day. Now, for the customer, that means tighter arrival windows. For the company, it means more jobs completed per day without hiring more technicians. Now, there was an HVAC shop that started out trying this AI dispatch, cut their fleet's drive miles by 18% in 3 months. And guys, if you can cut the mileage 18%, you can cut the fuel 18%. That is thousands of dollars in fuel savings and a lot less technician burnout. I know technicians love making overtime, but we also love getting home to our families.
Yes.
So the lesson's clear. If you're still building dispatch schedules on whiteboards, spreadsheets, spiral notebooks, you're leaving efficiency on the table.
Well, that's it. And I love to see this coming out because not everybody out there is great at scheduling, at planning and mapping out routes. Like, an AI is such a great tool to be used for a lot of different things. This is a great one because it's studying data. Who's the best at these jobs? How long should this typically take? It's studying all the information to help map it and plan it because it's built to be a scheduler, a mapper, a planner. Are we all? No. Is the person at your company? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe there's a few flaws. Embrace some of the AI. Let some of these new tools help them on their job. Or even let them try and then feed it in and say, hey, does this look right? Or do you have any suggestions to make it better? That's a good way to try it also.
All right, so, nope, skipped one there. I thought it did. Helping Hands Handyman Services, I try to obtain as many certifications as possible. Says, heck, even from Home Depot and all the new virtual learning programs. I love it. Miguel Santana says, shout out from Houston, Texas. Says, hi, Roger. I'm going for my master's in November. What do you recommend me to study? Man, the UPC study guide, and I thought I had mine in here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Miguel, I tell you, and this is the 2018. I need to talk to my buddies over at Atmo, tell them to send me some new ones. But the cool thing is, I take this book, I go to the back, I look up the answers, okay, because they've got them in here. Then I go through and highlight the correct answers. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Which camera did we go to over here? Yeah, you can't see it. Yeah, there you can see. So I highlight the correct answers, and then I read it like a book. I read the question, read the correct answer, nothing else. I never look at the wrong answer. And I do this for 2 or 3 weeks. Then like a week before my test, I'll go through and I'll cover the answers up with a sheet of paper. I'll read the question, and if I don't know the answer 100%, I don't get to guess. I've got to be able to know that answer without even thinking about it. If I don't know it, I'll take a pink highlighter and I'll highlight the question number. Then for that last week before my test, all I do is read the pink ones. Read it, correct answer. Read it, correct answer. I can read that probably 10 or 20 times in a week because there's normally 5 or 10. There's not a lot. So I'll just go through and read it. And then I walk in and I can sit down and I go through that test in a heartbeat. It's amazing. And then Reckham says, journeyman out of Lubbock, says, I don't want to work for a company anymore, but I'm worried I won't have enough work. How do these guys just jump out there on their own and get the ball rolling so quickly? I don't know. That's what I did.
Yeah, I was going to say, like this one here, just jump to the deep end.
And don't look back.
Keep on treading water.
Yeah. I mean, man, what I did is I talked to a lot of people. I ended up walking into real estate companies and trying to educate them on sewer water leaks, on a sewer test before they buy houses. I wanted to teach them about plumbing. I wanted to help them learn things. So a lot of good stuff, but man, you got to specialize in certain things. I specialized in slab leaks and leak detection, and then whole home water systems. And then I started marketing it that I do this better than anybody else, and it worked. It grew. But then again, I started doing social media to let people know what I was doing and how I was doing it. So, and if you're a journeyman, you need to get your master license. Just saying.
That's it.
All right. Vehicles, Randy.
Man, let's talk some fleet. Okay. And guys, big question here. What's going on everywhere? When do you actually transition to some EV vans? And when do you stick with the ICE? The ROI calculation isn't one size fits all, guys. It depends on where you're located. Are you in a rural area? Or are you in the city? Because EVs, they can bring lower fuel and maintenance costs, plus some rebates, tax incentives out there that sweeten that deal. These are very ideal for urban service shops running short, consistent routes. If you stay really close to the shop, this could be the right spot. Mm-hmm. But if you're a rural contractor out there doing long drives, have heavy loads, EVs probably aren't practical yet. You'll have to test it and check. Build that solar trailer. It might be okay.
There you
Talked
go.
about that a lot.
Yeah, we do.
But charging infrastructure isn't always there. And downtime can eat into your profits. Okay. So the smart move is to actually analyze your fleet by the route. Transition a few vans in urban cores where the math actually makes sense while keeping your normal trucks for long hauls. Okay. But guys, there's also branding. Customers notice when a service fleet is electric. For some markets, that actually changes everything because the sustainability signal can be a competitive edge above everybody else. We're going green everywhere. Even with our fleet, we are trying to help cut down on any of the things going on.
And the thing is, if you look at, certain areas of Dallas, all right, University Park, there's a company here that works over there all the time. And I'm thinking if I work over there, these are the guys that can afford whatever price you charge. They're paying for value. They're not looking for the cheapest plumber. They're paying for value. And my thought is, if you look at that and say, look, we're driving around in one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in Dallas. We're going to mark, hey, we're not adding to the carbon footprint here in your area. We're helping you keep your air clean because we all drive electric vehicles. There's a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to call them just because of that. And it would be worth it. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Matt says last update classes was 2021, so I'm a little behind, but still trying to study new things. And see, we have to, in Texas, Matt, we got to take continuing ed every year.
Every year.
And then Miguel Santana says it froze on me. But anyway, what do you think about SEO companies? I don't like them. Most of them I don't like. I'd rather learn social media because I can have control of it. There are some that I'm starting to work with that are doing good, but I don't want to overburden them yet. But I've told them whenever we're ready to grow, I want to make sure that I help them because they're doing good things. And then Helping Hands Handyman Services says, thank you. That's a strategy for success. It is. Isaiah Zay Johnsman says, what is normal treatment for a starting out apprenticeship? It feels like I'm being taken advantage of. It'll probably feel like that for a while.
Yeah.
You make the less money. You get to do the hard dirtiest,
work.
nastiest work. But man, keep a positive attitude. Learn everything you can. And one thing to learn is how you're treated. Because one day you'll be the journeyman. It'll be up to you how you treat the apprentices that come in for you.
That's right.
And then Helping Hands Handyman Services says social media definitely helps, like Nextdoor, but it can be toxic as well. So it's really about establishing your reputation. Most likely your work will speak for itself. Communication is a big thing.
Yeah.
And when I talk about social media, I'm not just talking about something like that. I love Nextdoor, things like that. If you can get your customers to leave you reviews, it's amazing. But my thing is, I love the fact that I do YouTube, that I do Facebook, that I do Instagram, that I do all kinds of things like that. And it really does help. Matt says, I like the new Chevy vans being hybrid or electric. Pretty spacious. And man, Chevy makes a good product. I do. I love it.
His favorite.
My favorite. And Matt McNaught says, apprenticeship is not easy until it's done. That is the truth.
100% fact right there. Oh my gosh.
All right. Today's spotlight is the HVAC guy. This account has exploded because it blends practical installs, humor, and education in a way that clicks with both young apprentices and seasoned technicians. He walks through troubleshooting steps, shows off tools in real time, and gives honest opinions without sugarcoating it. That authenticity is what makes the engagement fantastic. And it makes HVAC guy special and how approachable the content feels. You're not watching a staged commercial. You're watching a working tech share his day. For anyone in HVAC, this is proof that social media, like I was just talking about, isn't just for dancing videos. It actually works. It can actually build credibility and attract new talent to the trade. What you got in here, Squirt?
Oh, cat videos. That's all that works
There
on
we
socials, right? I'm kidding, guys, of course.
And we will be going through this one quick, guys.
This is HVAC guy, and he's out of South Georgia. We've kind of covered him before, but guys, I love HVAC guy. They're doing the things. This is real jobs. He goes out and he films while he's actually doing the work. Something I love, especially the troubleshooting side of things. Started back in 2015. Over a decade, July 3rd. So yes, over a decade on YouTube. 82.3 thousand subscribers and over 28 million views. Doing some really good things. Jumping over here into videos, some of the latest. Thought this was really cool because it's something we were kind of actually talking about the other day was shelves and stuff for your vans. And it's funny because he had just done a sneak peek inside of his plumbing van and everything a few days before. He puts out daily videos, but then it's boom, building some shelves. And that's the process of actually going through. It's not just him going out doing HVAC calls. It's everything to better him in his trade, make calls easier. He needed a spot for motors, I think is what it was. And that's why he had to go through building some of these things. But my favorite part, guys, is real service calls. He goes through from the beginning, explains the problem, and goes through and starts to troubleshoot it and walks you through that process so you actually see what a HVAC service tech does. And goes through, deals with a lot of different issues. So if there's something that you've run into that you haven't seen or anything, it could be here. That's one of my favorite things about having all of these people out there that put content out. I love learning from other people's mistakes, other issues, other problems and issues they've run into, because guess what? It could help me save my issue a whole lot quicker and save me time on the job. But been doing a lot. Old video here, over 1 million views. One of his most popular. We've talked about that before because we love the pile of beer cans. But guys, if your outdoor unit looks like this right here,
Yeah, get something done.
it's time to clean it up and get some things going. Real quick, the oldest, how he really got started. Some old verticals 4 years ago. On here, ooh, oldest 4 years ago. Okay. So he just started doing videos. I bet he had some old stuff, probably took it down.
A lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm. Then some shorts here, just little quick tips, things like that. Things to actually try out and check out.
I like the shirt there. Dirty hands, clean money.
That's it. But definitely a good one to check out, guys. If you want to find out some more about HVAC, walk through some normal service calls in South Georgia. Check out the HVAC guy over on YouTube.
All right, guys, best practices. We'll wrap up the best practices, and they're brought to you by residentialserviceprofessionals.com. Today's focus is on systems that save time and money. Too many owners are burning hours trying to reinvent their SOPs. They're building pricing templates from scratch, and they're guessing at the hiring process. And guys, this is not a good way to run a company. This community flips that on its head. It turns it completely over. You get calculators to help you figure out what you should be charging. You get checklists to make sure you're doing things right. You get templates designed specifically for residential service companies. You also get mentorship from professionals who've been there, built it, scaled it, and some of us even sold it. And the community piece is the secret sauce. Weekly coaching. There's private groups. There's masterminds with other owners who live in the same part of the world that you do. The truth is, running a trade business should not feel like you're on an island by yourself. And it shouldn't feel like the only way to survive is when the big best practice groups throw you a rope and it's just attached to everything they do. And that's what you have to do. With the right systems and the right crew around you, you can grow smarter, not harder. Getting the right getting the right business operating system makes everything work, and it makes everything work well. So if you want to learn more about it, go check out residentialserviceprofessionals.com. And I get to be part of this because of what I started doing on YouTube 7.5 years ago. YouTube completely changed my life. It changed my business, and it can change yours. In the next few years, YouTube's going to be more valuable to your business than your website is. I recommend starting today. That way, in a few years, you're looking amazing on it. If you want to learn more about how to do YouTube, how to get started, how to do it the right way, go to justmattroger.com. Go check it out. I made a free webinar, and it literally teaches you how to do YouTube, or it teaches you the things that you think are keeping you from doing it. It teaches you those things probably aren't true.
That's it. And everybody, we'd also like to thank LeakPro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks, where we build the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. I always suggest checking out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. But the complete kit, it's the business in a box, comes with both pieces of equipment that we build, that probe for that meter to the home service, any of your underground lines, irrigation, stuff like that. That probe's amazing. But then if there's anything that's under the concrete itself, whether it's the driveway, sidewalks, patios, even a slab on the home itself, you're going to want the sidekick that comes in that complete kit. It's got an aluminum rod, so it eliminates the layer of concrete when you're listening for a leak underneath it. So check out the complete kit at our website, leak.pro. But also, if you're not familiar with how to do leak detection and you want to bring it in-house and start doing it at your company, give me a call at 1-8888-LEAKPRO. I'd love to talk about a 2-day in-person training that I offer here just outside of Dallas, Texas, where I teach you how to locate lines, pinpoint locate leaks under a slab, outside of a slab, even in sewer systems. So give me a call at 1-8888-LEAKPRO. I'd love to talk about the equipment or the training and how this can help you in your area.
Guys, look, we get to do this every day because of people like you. Y'all show up. You come in, you be part of the show, whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, LinkedIn. We're everywhere today. But guys, the cool thing about it is we get to do this because of y'all. And we were both taught that if you'll get up and study your niche or your industry for 30 minutes to an hour a day, after a year, you can be in the top 5% because you're going to know more about it than anybody. And it's not that you know more about everything. It's that there's less out there you don't know anything about. So we do appreciate y'all showing up. We really do. We love what we get to do, and we owe it all to y'all. And we're putting together some sponsors. We're going to tweak this thing up a little bit and make it a lot more fun, but we're doing some good stuff. So I just want to say thank y'all for being here. And whatever you do out there today, do it safe and have fun.
Happy Friday Eve, everybody. I appreciate you showing up. If you enjoy this show, I hope to see you back here tomorrow for a fabulous Friday, guys. Get out there and hit it effing hard. You know we will. Bye.
Bye, guys. See y'all later.